Author Lawana Kelly is the CEO of Empower Outlook LLC, the author of Damaged Crowns Still Shine. I am telling my story to make changes and change lives all around the world for women that has been damaged, broken, and even hurt. You can find my book on my website, Amazon, and many other platforms. Queens, no matter what your crown been through, just know it still shine. Welcome to Empowerment Tuesday with Lawana
and Chosen.
How y'all doing today? Welcome. Let's get right into it. Let's talk about family.
Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it.
Yes. I'm excited to be here to, just touch on some things that, not just us, but us as a people that we really want to tap in. We into a new year. We're in the first month of the new year, and we just want to get a collaboration on what is family, what family mean to you, and how is family actually built, and what is it built on. So we're gonna get into the nitty gritty of that.
So. All right. My first question to you, Chosen, is what is family?
Family is people. It's people that's connected to you spiritually, mentally, and emotionally. That's family.
That is family.
That's family to me.
Okay.
That's what I consider family. And then not only that, just being consistent. Being there morally and spiritually and things of that nature. That's what I consider family. A lot of time people can connect other things to family, but that's just not family as far as money and what you can do for a person to keep them around. I don't think that's family. I think that's just a person or people that actually just there to use you.
Right. Because I think it is hurtful to have family members only deal with you when it's beneficial. When it's beneficial, when you have something to offer.
Mm-hmm.
But baby, when you start struggling, nobody don't know who you are. And why is that?
Well, I think in my opinion, they're just not connected to you. It's all about being connected to a person and basically just having a relationship with the person. And I think if you don't have a relationship with whoever it may be, whether it's family, then, it kind of chips away at it, So you don't have that type of feeling that you have for somebody else that you're close to. For example, you can have a friend that you're close to, more closer to than you actually have a family member.
Right, because see, blood don't make you family, right?
No, absolutely not. I think what makes you family is, like I said, just being there, supportive, and just being consistent with the person. And I think that's just family itself. And I think the word I want to use is wow. I mean, it's so touchy though, and I don't want to go into too many, things, but because I know people may have their feelings about things, but I think just being there for a person and being loyal to them, that's family. Just being loyal.
So when you say being there, how should family be there for one another?
I think emotionally, when something goes on and you need somebody, you should be able to, your family, you should be able to reach out to them. And like I said, I'm going to be clear about it. It don't necessarily have to be connected by blood. Whoever it may be, that's what family. And a lot of times people think that family is built on because, we have the same blood or we come from the same thing. It's not built on that.
Right,
it's built on the relationship that you have with the person. And somebody had asked me yesterday about, as far as the family, that you could be a surrogate.
Okay.
And you could be raised with another family that's not even yours. So is that baby actually their family?
Yes.
There you go.
It's their family.
And it's not through blood. So it's being developed. Okay. And that's how family is made. It's being developed.
So what would you say, like, far as with relationship, like with relationships between, say for instance, siblings, mother, father, like, say for instance, if a mother or father that passes, who obligation it is to make sure of that child or that person that just experienced loss is okay?
Well, I think that's really touchy, and you have a lot of opinions on that. But I think it's really, I don't think nobody's obligated to nobody other than the parents. The parents are obligated.
But if they're deceased,
now the parents are gone. So now the siblings are not obligated. Okay. It just depends on the relationship, and a lot of things when you do for people, whether it's your sister, brothers, or whoever, it's a courtesy, and it depends on your relationship that, you'll make it, well, this is something I have to do built on this relationship that I have with this person.
Okay. Now, say for instance that the parents is out on drugs and you have an older sibling. Is it their responsibility to make sure the younger siblings are okay?
Morally, yes.
Morally,
yeah. Uh-huh. But if they're not in that position to where they can take care of you in that capacity, then whose responsibility is it? You can't put responsibility on somebody that can't take it.
Because so many people in this world feel like they've been failed by a mother, by a father, by a brother, or by a sister. Do they morally owe them an apology for their failures? Like if they failure to protect a sibling, or they wasn't protected. I mean, do a parent or someone like that owe anybody an apology?
A parent?
Yeah, a parent or a sibling.
I think, morally, yes. We have to take the responsibilities for what we do and our actions. Mm-hmm. And we should, apologize and see where we went wrong and how we can do better. One thing that I know from my experience, and I believe from a lot of others, that we can't go back.
We can't go back.
We can't go back. So the only thing we can do is start where we at. And we can move forward from that. And that goes to the apology, or where did I go wrong with this? Where did I go wrong with this relationship? How can I fix it moving forward? And I guess, not really guess, but both people have to be in collaboration of that.
Why is it that it feel like when you show up at a funeral, your family, you get loved on, you embraced by, oh, cousin, I haven't seen you. Oh, niece, I haven't seen you. Oh, brother or sister, I haven't seen you. I love you. But it's only at a funeral. Mm-hmm. Why is it like that? Why is it like people... Yeah, go ahead.
Well, I think though it just can't. That type of thing, like certain funerals, it just became tradition.
Okay.
It's just tradition now. People show up, and you hadn't seen somebody, and things like that, or some people show up just to see what's going on, or for the repast, to eat, the festivities and things like that, to pick up gossip where they hadn't heard from in a while, and move on from there. And not to say not all people. Some people comes and, show their respect. But after that, you just don't see anybody, after that. And a lot of people say, well, if you need me, call me and things like that. That's it's tradition, too, because, a couple of days after that, you call a person, they done cut their phone off or they done blocked you.
This family member is disconnected.
Yeah. So, and it's not that you calling for any financial help or money. It's just you coming from, more respect, or, something, you just need to talk to somebody. A lot of, mental illnesses going on, a lot of depression. And when people go through things of trauma, people need people to talk to.
Now, why is it when you're alive and struggling, nobody won't be bothered? You don't see nobody. But once you're dead and gone to land in that casket, 1,000 people show up. If you have any comments or questions, please ask them now. It's a good time. But why?
Well, I think you're worth more dead than alive to others.
And that's sad.
And,
so sad.
They, whether they're going to talk about you while you're here, they talk about you while you're gone. But I think you're worth more dead than alive, because they'll show up for your going away, but they won't show up for your coming. See, you coming here, they ain't going to show up, but you leaving, we glad he gone.
You told me a while back that we all have two languages. Mm-hmm. Please tell me what them two main languages are. Tell my viewers, what is those two languages?
Go ahead. You
The language is when you're born, you take that first breath, and then when you take that last breath. My husband said them two languages everybody speak.
those two languages. And it's just and the thing about it is what I'm trying to express or give people, and I think a lot of people do understand the terminology of the family, how it's built, or when people show up for certain reasons, and how do you determine who's family. And it's not just by blood. Just because you my blood, I trust you with this, or I trust you with this information. No, that's built over time. What you have with family is you have titles. These are titles, and you earn those titles. It's just nothing is given, it's earned. So whatever you get, you earn it. So when you take something, right, it's not yours. So when you earn it, that belongs to you. So if you earn that title of, you're my family, or you friendship, or things like that, then that's yours. And those things are earned.
Okay. Why is it just family is deal with you when you just have something to offer?
Not all family, but certain families look at you as, a cash machine, or they look at you as you a deposit, and they withdraw from you. They can never deposit nothing in your life. And sometimes it don't necessarily, like I say, have to be money. Whatever they can suck you dry at, that's what they're meant to do in any capacity, but they're never willing to give. And that's even emotionally, physically, or anything that they're just looking to take.
Well, at one point in my life, until the Lord changed my life, was that I was a black sheep of my family.
Okay.
So give me your definition of a black sheep, and why is that stigma on people, the black sheep?
Well, I think black sheeps, I mean, whatever you want to call it, I think people are special people. I don't think it's a black sheep. You don't have to put yourself in the dark and have everybody sitting in the light, because you are the light. So you're not a black sheep. You're probably more brighter than the others. But I think that I think people see special things in people, and they give you that stigma, and then you learn to accept it as a black sheep. But you're really not. You're a shining star, and when you start to
You're
shine,
valuable. I had to learn that I was valuable.
Absolutely. And when you start shining bright, and people see you overshadowing them, that's when they want to start pushing you back in the black sheep category. And then sometimes you start to accept that. But black sheep is.
What would you say to the men and women around the world that wants to have a relationship, say, with their mom, their dad, their siblings, and their family? And what would you say about them trying to force a relationship? Because I remember, well, that's the next question. Go ahead.
Well, I think that, once people realize that life is short, and sometimes we overlook that because we get caught up in so many things that we're doing, and life just start to get ahead of us, and we don't realize how short it is. We think we got forever to make amends, or to do this part in your life, or accomplish this. Life is extremely short. And I think once people really realize that they'll start coming to grips and start making amends and getting closer, because once the end comes, there's no way you can make that amends. The transition has already begun. So I think we need to realize that in this day and time, especially with COVID hit and all these people that have passed on, and it happened so fast, they didn't realize how much time they had left. And God, said He's time, and we don't know what the time is, but God does. So we have to realize that, okay, we can't think that tomorrow was going to come for us. Whatever we need to do it in today. So we need to make amends, or whatever we can fix, because people have to be accepted to whatever you're saying and whatever you're doing in order to make that connection. But if not, then you can pray for them in silence and ask God to forgive you for whatever part that you played, and forgive them for they know not what they done.
Right. Now, the other question was, money can't buy love. But so many of us, and I wrote a chapter about that in my book, when I found myself trying to buy my sister or my brother or my mother's relationship and buy their love, I was trying to buy a man's love, a family member's love, and using money to buy it. And love is priceless. What do you say about those people that try to buy love?
There's no price on love. Love is priceless. Love is free.
Yes, it is.
I mean, when people like I say, you have to really sit down with yourself and see self-worth.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to go to your higher power.
Amen.
And that's God.
That's God, the Lord.
And
Yes.
whether you believe or not, that's just where I'm at. And I go to that and I know my worth. And God gives love, and love is free.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't have to buy it. So anytime if you're in the church or whatever scenery you may be in and it costs you to love on people and all this kind of stuff, it's not real. You need to remove yourself from that place and find a better place where you could be loved for free. And that's with anybody. Love should not cost a dime. It is free.
Mm-hmm. And there's so many people out here just doing it. Okay, my other question to you is, why do people say that why do people say that they are there for you and not there?
Well, it's just like I say, a lot of stuff is just tradition. People say things, and it's just, I guess, the right thing to say. This is the right thing to say.
And
But
so
I think
be there for you if you need me.
yeah. So you have to really think about what you say before you say it, and then I guess it's really with certain people that behavior goes to. They may not feel that way about you, and they may just say that in terms of just to move you along. But I think that we should work on relationships, and with everything that's going on in the world, with people getting sick and dying and things like that. God is sending a message to us. And and like we're talking about family, and I just want family or people to know in general, family is just not built on from the bloodline as it comes. People can be more closer to you and they not have no connection to your family. People will give you and support you more so than your own family. And like I say, once again, those are titles, and those things have to be earned. You can't just say, well, this is that, or I'm this and I'm that. You have to earn those titles.
Right. Now, if you say, because you lost the house or lost the car, and people in your family and people with your friends, and nobody owe you nothing. I'm just asking the question because nobody owes us nothing.
Absolutely.
But when you're struggling, why do you have to call for help? If they see you struggling, and if they're able to help, if they're able to help you, and they see you struggling, why do you got to call for help?
Well, I'm gonna give you that in the terms of, far as financial and far as being, even if you're sick, and they see you struggling in either area, there's not no obligation for them to help you financially.
Mm-hmm.
I think everything is a courtesy,
Mm-hmm.
but at the end of the day, it depends on the relationship that you have with the person.
Okay.
If they don't come through for you and they have it and they see you struggling, and versus they'll do something for somebody on the outside, versus if you consider their family member and they do something for somebody else and they don't help you out and they see it, then that lets you know they're not connected to you.
Farad Moore said, so we have a question. Farad Moore said, what make a friend a friend?
What makes a friend a friend? It's built. It's like clay,
Connection.
Absolutely. Connection and mold it. You build that and you make that tight and you make it the way that you want it to be made. You know what I'm saying? Like, for example, people look on TV and you look at these sitcoms and things like that, as far as like the Huxtables and stuff like that. And everybody want their family to be like that,
Fairy tale, huh?
Well, of course, it's fairy tale, but that's what people want to build that on. And it's a process.
It's a process.
That's what it is. It's just not, oh, me and you close, and it's the same terminology as that when I met you, for example.
Okay.
And, we were seeing each other and you said, well, I asked you. And I said, you told me, you said, well, I love you. And I said, wow, okay, okay, cool. And you was like, well, do you love me? And I said, well, no, I don't love you.
You said no.
I don't love you. And that kind of thing has to be built, right?
Honesty, yeah.
It had to be honest and it had to be built. So what happened was, what changed me and with people in general, how do you know a person loves you? Or how do they feel about you? How do you fall in love?
Wow.
And that's even with the relationship in the family. So I'm going to tell you that it comes with how you just don't fall in love.
That's true.
You just don't. You just wake up and I'm in love. It don't happen like that. How you fall in love is consistency.
Consistency.
You're always there. You're calling. It's like redundant. You're doing things over and over again. And it becomes a national anthem for you. And that person started to build trust in you. And they start investing in you. And they like, this person is so consistent. I can depend on this
like
person.
Like me frying all that chicken flavors. It was consistent. Okay.
That's why I got the stomach right here. So yeah, just being consistent. And then over time, you realize that, wow, I'm in love with this person. You know, I have this relationship, you know, and you're like, I'm in love, you know. And how did that happen? It was over time, being consistent, doing the same old thing, being there. And then before you know it, you got these feelings and things like that. And the same is sort of in the terminology of when he said, how do you know a friend is friend? It's over time. It's being consistent, being there for a person. Mm-hmm. When they're going through, you call them, say, hey, I'm not feeling well, or I need to talk to you. You know, I'm having trouble on my job. Talk a person through something. Mm-hmm. And I think that's how it's built. Now, lastly, if you never hardly talk to a person, how can you have a relationship? Mm. You know anything about them. You get on the phone with them, and all you hear is silence, crickets. Because where do you start it?
Where do you start? Don't have really too much to say.
So, right, but you can have a start. You can start somewhere, but then that's how you build a relationship and the foundation, because you can't build nothing on saying.
That's it. That's it. I like that. Okay. Why is it when Big Mama died, when she died, when she died, as a family, we lose connection? I'm sorry, y'all, my course.
So when Big Mama dies, which is grandma, once grandma leaves us, then why
do we lose connection with one another? Why family, they see you on the street and don't want to say nothing to you, but Big Mama kept us connected. But as soon as Big Mama leave, we disconnected. Family, aunties don't check on the nieces and nephews. And guess what? We're supposed to check on our elders. We don't even check on the elders.
Well, the answer to your question is just being real, you know, and that's the start of, you know, healing and trying to fix what you need to fix. Is being real. And I think a lot of people can relate to real. You can't just be fake and just, you know, make things up to try to make things look a certain way, and it's not. When you say Big Mama, when Big Mama leave and everybody, you know, start going their different ways, that means they were never close in no way.
No connection.
There was no connection, because if you got to go over to Big Mama house in order to connect with somebody versus going over to the direct person house to visit them, then you never had a connection.
Right.
There's nothing there. So we just going to eat, have conversation, and leave, and that's that. There's no connection.
So basically, you just building family as you go, like strangers, building a stranger, you know, like I had one point in my life where people in my neighborhood, when I bought my first home, my next door neighbor was a sister. My other next door neighbor was a mama. The lady across the street was a grandma. The other lady was an auntie, another auntie. It's like you building your own community of family. Why is that? We are so jealous and bitter with one another. Why is it like that?
Time has changed.
Time has changed.
Time is changing, and you have to change with the time. And it's unfortunate because, you know, back in the day, it wasn't like that. It was family. Family was built. It was made. Mamas and grandma made sure that, and they instilled that in the kids. So that's all they knew.
We respected neighbors. We did all that stuff.
So that's all they knew. Now it's not being taught. So now their kids and kids and kids have that same terminology of, you know, I'm not going over there. You know, I don't care about such and such. I don't want to see so and so. And unfortunately, the mama adapt the same, you know, attitude. So nobody ever gets close. So when you talk about Big Mama dying, everybody go over there to eat, but just really gossiping, trying to see what this person got, or
what they gonna wear.
We hope this person done lost this and all this kind of stuff. And it's just unfortunate when you know somebody is close, they call you, they come see you. And of course, it's COVID now, right? We know that. But we're talking about before COVID.
Before COVID.
You know, nobody seen each other or even called. And even now with COVID, you have, you know, you could talk to people online and things like that, to where you can reach out to people and they still can't do it.
Right. I found myself going to visit a lot of family members. a lot of friends. I'm always going to their houses. But nobody never come to Lawana house and see Lawana. And I never understood that, but you helped me see that.
Mm-hmm.
You said that who come to save you? Who come to see you? And why is it like that? It's just like it's like everybody want you to take care of them, but nobody want to come take care of you. Like the saying is, who helped the one that always helping people?
Yeah, well, you know, a lot of people want you to support them. They don't want to be the supporter. And that just goes back to, you know, on that building on sand and not on a good foundation. People want you to go to wherever they are, and I, you know, everybody like a comfort zone, you know, but it's okay to come out of your comfort zone to go and support other people. So I think at the end of the day, when you go over your life and the people that's in it, and you see that there's no connection, they never come around. If you're not feeling good, if you're sick or you're in the hospital, you never get a call or nobody see about you, then you know it's nothing there.
You got to actually almost beg people to come see about you.
And one of the things that you can't do, you cannot force a relationship.
We try that so bad, and I had that problem. I had that problem. I try to force people to love me.
And if it's not there, it's not there, and that's at the end of the day. And I think, you know, it makes you a stronger person if you can be alone. That makes you stronger when you're by yourself.
Yeah. Okay, why do family and friends sit back and watch you struggle, but so quick to help a stranger?
You don't have a relationship with them. And that's the family. That's the thing that you keep saying, or people, you know, that I have spoken with, and, you know, they had the same issues and things like that in their family. And they will help somebody on the outside, but they won't help you. Then you don't have a connection. They don't feel you. Like if you're hurting, I'm going to hurt with you, right?
Right.
Because I'm connected to you.
You feel my pain.
So whoever that you connected to, they're going to feel it. They may not feel it the way that you
physically
feel, but they're going to feel something that you're going through, and they're going to call you. But if there's no connection, you're not going to get a call. They're not going to come around. And, you know, some people may be in denial to that, but, you know, believe it what you see.
Okay, the saying is blood is thicker than water. How's that?
I don't think so. I don't think so. You know, I think blood is thick. Yeah, it is thicker than water, but you can get more water than you can blood.
Wow. That's deep. Explain that more. Elaborate on that.
I'll tell you in this content here, there's more water on the earth than it is land. So you can get more water here than anything in the world. We're more water than we are land. And of course, we'll be more water than we are blood. So the terminology of blood is thicker than water is just untrue. You know, I think it's just something that's said, and people just took that as a slogan and they use it. Blood is thicker than water. But then you have somebody in your family that's blood or close to you that cross you, tell your business, want to destroy you. And, you know, I think it's too thick then. I guess it becomes cement.
Why is there more gossip than praying?
People don't have a relationship with God.
People don't have a relationship with God.
You know, not that, and a lot of people just go to church just to go. You got to have a personal relationship with God to lead and guide you in your life, you know, and whatever you do, you have to have God in it. So if you're doing that and you putting God in everything that you're doing, the decisions that you're making is not going to be your decisions. God going to have a plan with that. So God don't do wrong. God can't go wrong. So if you put God in the equation, then you can't lose.
Right. As far as like with business or businesses, why is there just so much jealousy and hatred in the family amongst one another? Nobody wants to help another person to get ahead because they're too busy going higher and getting ahead before them. So why is it like that?
I mean, I guess it's been like that for a long time. Some things you just can't change, you know, just like certain things in the world, you just can't change. And that's going to be one of them. But hopefully that, you know, people that do hear this would be able to say, well, you know, let me start being a better person and being more supportive to people, to help people up. Because it's like a chain of command, though. If you're in a certain position in your job, eventually somebody has to take that place. And certain people never want to give that position up.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where they miss it at. So they try to hold on to it as long as they can. And I guess they just fall off.
Mm.
They just fall out. They fall out of place. So I think some things you're just not going to be able to change. And that jealousy and things like that, that's just going to be, that's rooted.
Let's elaborate on the jealousy and the hatred among one another. It's like we are so divided. Family are so divided, and you just get more help and more love from a total stranger than you get from family. It's jealousy and hatred. I mean, like, how could we help my viewers to understand that? Because so many families are struggling. I asked everybody, ask questions and comment. A lot of people struggle with that, and how can we help them get get through some of those things, like toxic relationships and families?
Well, the thing about it, like you said, when family won't support you versus, the strangers, that's the reason why God made so many people.
True.
It's going to be people, and He knew that in your family that wasn't going to support you. So He made hundreds and hundreds of millions of people to support you because He already knew that people were going to be jealous. It was in the Bible. That jealousy was in the Bible. You didn't think it was going to come to the earth, and we're already in sin. So you're going to have people jealous of you. So it's going to people that have no dog in the fight that will support you in the things you do, and the family won't because they're going to hate to see you elevate and lead them down there because they don't want to do nothing. They don't want nothing in life. They want everything to be handed to them.
So if somebody win $1 million right now today, they family, but mind you, they struggling, ain't nothing. Nobody don't think about them. But if somebody win $1 million today, why people rush and want to love on and to leech on them?
Just to get what they can out of them. Whatever they can get from them and drain them dry, then that's what they are. You're going to have people like that, not just in the family. You have those type of people outside of the family also that just whatever they can get out of you, withdraw from you and suck you dry and move on. And that's just the nature of the beast.
Well, were there anything that you wanted to collaborate on as far as family?
Well, yeah, family, like I say, in my terms of family, it's not made through blood or things like that. Family is built, it's what you make a family. And you put family together and you create your circle where people can be loyal to you and you loyal to them. You there for them in their darkest moments and they there for you. That's what you consider family. Family ain't just pop up out of nowhere at a family gathering and this is family and so and it's been 40 years since you've seen them. You don't know nothing about them. They just have a title.
That's it. That's it.
And that's not family. But it didn't used to be that way. But I just said that in this day and time, it doesn't change.
Right.
We're not going to be able to change all of it, but we can change some of it. And that's the whole point of this, is trying to get people to see, or if they can, within the family, fix what's going on in the family to make it better.
What will we say to someone that want a mother's love, wants a father love, want to be loved? Because so many people don't. Where I learned love at is when I had my first child. Well, God first. God first is where I learned love. But physically, physically, family wise, when I first found love was when I had my first child. But so many people struggle for love, for a family member or mom or dad to love them. How could we help them surplus that and just find love? Or what would you say?
Absolutely. That's a good question. I say, first of all, you have to love yourself.
A lot of people don't do that. Oh, Jesus.
You have to love yourself. You have to love yourself no matter how you look, what you have, where you at in life. Love yourself no matter what. And don't worry about what nobody think about you. Because like I said, once you here, they're going to talk about you. And once you go, they're going to talk. So now you got a clear path. So you ain't got to worry about it. They're going to talk about you here and when you go. So you don't worry about it. And then, those are the people that's not there for you or doing nothing for you. The people that's in your circle, they're not going to do that.
Right.
because they're there for you. So it's always going to be the naysayers and all this kind of stuff. So you have to love yourself first. And once you find that love for yourself first, your confidence build through the roof, and then only you'll be able to love other people.
How do people begin to love themselves?
You got to go to your higher power, which is God. And I'm going to always say that.
God is first.
You have to go to God. God is love. So once you go to God and you go to the ultimate love source, you will begin to love yourself and pray and ask God to give you that strength and that confidence in yourself. And then when you come on or when you go out or whatever, no matter what you got, how you look, you're going to be okay with it. And then you'll start to attract people, and people are going to love you where you at.
What would you say to the people that need to go ahead and procrastinate on writing their books, starting their business, creating whatever they wanted to create because a family said that ain't gonna work, or a friend, you ain't gonna do good with that. That ain't gonna be about nothing. You shouldn't do that. What would you say to them?
You don't have time. Time is not ours. You don't have the time to wait for nothing. Whatever you want to do in life, just do it.
Because tomorrow is not promised. Do whatever you want to do today, because tomorrow is
just
not
do whatever you want to do. Be happy. Enjoy life. Write your book. Start a business. Anything that you want to do, just do it. Because once you leave here, it's over. Okay. I done seen it so many times. Mm-hmm. It has humbled me tremendously. I have so much love for people. The people that don't love me, that come against me, and you're always going to have those people. I still love them. And I pray for them at night. And people be like, well, I'm going to pray for you and all this kind of stuff. Actually, I'm not going to, at this juncture, just start praying. But when I go off the air, I'm going to pray for people. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to make sure that, I pray for folks that even come up against me. Mm-hmm. Because time is something that we don't have. And that's the thing. Whatever you want to do, just do it. Don't worry about what people think about whether you're going to succeed or you can't do it or you don't qualify. Just do it.
Don't be scared and step out on faith. Just do it. Like when I writing my book, Damaged Crown Still Shine, I couldn't worry about what my family was going to say or what my friends was going to say. I had to, and somebody had to instill this to me. I had to do this for me. This was going to free me. This was going to make me feel good. And so do what you can to make you feel good, because sometimes family is not going to push you to do what you need to do and make you feel good. Sometimes it's so much toxic going on in families. It's so much toxic, hatred, hurt, all kind of stuff, backstabbing. You got to keep going. If you're living with somebody, get your own place. Just go. Just do you. And this is what we got to get into, that we have to change our mindsets and get there. We have to get what God wants us to be. Don't stay stuck. Don't stay where you are. Don't stay stuck in depression. Don't get over it. Get through it.
That's right.
Try to call. I'm sorry. Somebody try to call.
Yeah. So we just got to get through whatever we can get through. And as far as like the family, gist of it and a part of the family is that, like I said, we have to work on being better and a better person, better at everything that you do, whether you're a mother, father, brother, sister, mentor, whatever you are. We always have room to improve, to do better. And and that's one of the things that we can do as people, and we can help other people get better at what they're doing, and other people can help me because we always learning every day. And that's just one of the things that I'm working on, being better.
We have a question. Someone wants to know, how do you build a better relationship in family?
Well, you build a better relationship by, I think, and I have to be honest, I'm gonna be 100% honest that this is where we at, because I know after you get wrong so much and so bad, you're like, I'm done. I'm not reaching out to nobody. I'm tired of reaching out to people. My worth is through the roof. I don't need y'all. I don't need no money. I don't need nothing. You know what I'm saying? I'm good. I got God. So I don't need anything from you guys. I got the ultimate love. But I want to give my love that God gave me to the people around me. So, I think you make that initiative to reach out to somebody and say, hey, listen, something came through me. I want to do better.
Okay.
I want to do better. I want to get a better relationship with you. I know I haven't been talking to you, and we haven't been close, but I want to start now.
Well, what do you do if you go that route and they push you away? Do you move forward, or do you keep trying, or do you just let go?
Well, we go back to the Bible. You have to keep moving.
Mm-hmm.
When you get those instructions to where keep moving and
Keep
don't
going.
look back, you keep moving. But you can also pray for people as you keeping it moving. You pray for them, the ones that you can't get through, and you try to make that relationship, and they don't want it. You keep moving and you pray for them, and God will work it out for you. And that's how you get stronger.
Yeah. So, what will we tell our viewers how to just make it happen?
Well, you just have to do it. Like I said, you have to start somewhere, and you just pick a family member or somebody and reach out to them, tell them you love them and how much you love them, and see where it go from there. And you have to start somewhere.
Well, I have did that. I have called a random family member and said, "Hey, I love you." Their response was, "Are you okay?" Why is love is like a cuss word?
Because it's not thrown around a lot. People don't call people and tell them you love them and things like that. So when they do, they think you're ready to commit suicide or something like that or whatever, because that it's not custom no more. It's not what people are used to hearing. You get on the phone, as soon as the phone ring and you answer it, they're ready for gossip. That's what they're used to. They're not used to that approach with love and, God got me in a certain position. I'm humble. This thing right here changed my life. I want to make it better with you. They they don't know how to take that.
If y'all have any more questions, could you please ask now? We only have 10 more minutes. um, how do I would love a better relationship with my siblings, with my mother, with certain other family members, aunties, and how would you suggest that I go by doing it? Do I just stay away, or do I try to force? You said I can't force myself on. How do I make it better? I want to get better. I know I've been praying, I've been crying out, I've been asking God, how can I make it better?
Well, like I say, nothing can be forced.
Okay.
You have to be real, and whatever you do have to be genuine. So you can't force anything. And when you know that you've done all that you can do, and you've done your part, then you got to let the chips fall with it, man. You got to let go and
Let God,
and
let go, let God.
let go and let God, and let God handle it. And sometimes people, you know, as they say, they're seasons, and just because they're family, they're still seasons.
So when they say a person coming to your life for a reason, a season, or a lifetime, whether if it's a parent, a family member, or a mate, a relationship. So,
I think the unfortunate part of it is, it sads and hurts me. The terminology is so real. Even when people pass on, whether they living or they pass on, it's for a season.
it's for a season.
And it's all sad. And when people move on, they pass on, and you want them here longer, and you wish you could have them here for a long period of time. But whatever God's reason was, they transition. And even in life itself, when you don't have that relationship with the person, and one or the other has to move on, that season is over, and you can't force it.
Someone says, why is it when if a toxic was going on in a relationship between a mother and a child, why is it hereditary? Why is it a generational curse? Because your mama did it, their mama did it. Now you beating the heck out of your kids and cussing their kids out. They want to know, how could you stop that? How could you work on that?
Generation curses can be stopped.
It can be broken. Yes, it can.
It can be broken. You have to go to God. God stops all that You have to go to God and say, I want this generation to stop.
Generational curse.
So whether it's drinking, drugs, abuse, any of that, sexual assaults and things like that, you go to God and say, Lord, I don't want this curse in my life. I don't want this. I want it to stop here. I don't want it to surpass me, and it's unfortunate, like you said, it's in the family. You're like, well, no, this ain't in the family, or mental illness ain't in the family. It's in the family. It's in that generation, and in that
DNA. Ask for it to be the curse.
It's in that. Curse. It's in the DNA.
It's in the DNA.
So God is DNA, and He can change your DNA. So you ask God to say, hey, I want you to change this DNA. I don't want this to be a part of my life. I don't want this to be a part of my life, and I don't want it to be a part of my kids' life and grandkids and things like that. So you go to God and you pray, and you believe what you pray.
Yeah. Because what your mother did or your father did don't mean like your thing is that you never had a drink in your life.
Never.
And you saw your parents drink. And you saw them do things. I saw my parents do things, drink and smoke and things like that. And I didn't do it. And I thank God for that. But some people think that's the norm. Because my mama did it. My grandma did it. I'm going to do it. And my kids going to do it. And my kids' going to do it. That generation curse needs to be broke.
And it can be broke. And like I say, you go to God. And when I went to my Lord and Savior, once I seen all the drinking and drugging and stuff that was in my family, and I went to God and I said, this is something that I don't want, Lord. I don't want to be a statistic of this, And when I found God and got to build that relationship, when I prayed, I believed it. And I never did drugs, drink, or took nothing in my life. I broke that curse where I was at. And I set an example, and then sometimes once you not do it and you say, well, why, my kids, I didn't do this and I failed my kids. No, you didn't fail your kids. You did everything you're supposed to do. They have their own mind and things they have to do. They have to be accountable for what they do. Everybody is judged individually. They have to go to God. You can pray for them, but they got to go to God on their own to make sure that they pass that, generation where they cut the generation curse, because you have to stop it somewhere.
Right. Well, do you have anything else to say? Any questions to ask?
Well, yes. Well, like I say, I just want people to understand that family is not made of blood. It's just not. We have to get away from that terminology. It's sad. It used to be. But, the world has changed. Look at the pandemic. The world has changed. We can say, oh, this and that. But if you go outside, the world changed. You got people wearing masks and all kind of stuff. They got helmets on. And, people walking around in white suits and things. The world changed. And you have to adapt with it, And the thing about it is, family is built. It's not made through blood no more. You have to create that circle for yourself. And you go off of that, And like I say, it's not where you start, it's where you finish.
Right. Like my small family, my family is my husband and my 2 children. I have a extended family, but this is who I focus on in my house.
Right.
I'm not focused on the outside. I keep everybody on the outside prayed up, because when I was an outsider, nobody kept me in prayer and nobody thought about me. So what I do is take care of in-house and I pray for outhouse. How do you do it?
Absolutely. I pray for everybody on the outside, and I pray God covers everybody through sickness. And I pray for y'all wealth, and I pray for y'all to have a good mind, and not lose your mind in the midst of what you in.
Don't die in the middle of your crisis.
And I hope God cover you and your children from anything that's out here. And and we have to do that regardless, because like I say. And lastly, like I say, God is first in everything that we do. We have to put God first, and then we would become more developed, more like family if we put God first. So I just want to say that. And if you got God in your life and you go on to church and you're saying all these things or whatever, and you're doing the opposite, you're still doing something wrong. Put God first, and then start to see the change in your life and how you treat people and how you humble yourself.
Right. And we thank you all for tuning in. We thank you all for your comments, your questions.
Absolutely.
And all the love and likes you all show.
And one of the other things I want to tell you guys before we leave here, we're going to, the next section is going to be about grief and what else?
Depression.
Depression.
Or do you want to do just grief and loss?
We're going to do grief, depression, and loss. We're going to focus on that because people had a lot of losses in their life, a lot of grief, and a lot of depression. And we're going to hit on that because a lot of people I talk to is going through. So we'll see you then.
See you soon. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Lawana Kelly is right at the bottom, and my name is right there. So please subscribe, love, like, and share. Thank you all for tuning in. Until next time.
Take care of yourself and each other.